we're here doing a walkabout. Thank you very much for checking out my other video. We're going to be playing Noir a little bit tonight and probably for the rest of the week. And yes, folks, they're going to be a lot of fun. And I might even do another, uh, I might actually do some Christmas caroling. Yes, folks, it's very close to Christmas. It's only about, I'd say 20. Yeah, 22 days until Christmas, ladies and gents. So let's to get some Christmas caroling going. So don't worry tonight. I'm actually considering doing a little bit of Christmas caroling. So if you guys want to check that out tonight, join me join me tonight. But today we're actually going to be doing a little TED Talk, ladies and gentlemen. One of the biggest TED Talks I'm going to be having, especially around this time of year, watch out for scammers. One, there's two types of scammers that I want you guys to look out for. For you guys that live in an apartment, and mind you, I live in one too. For everybody that lives in an apartment, be careful that you don't get hit with an unscrupulous landlord, because they are out there, and some of them are too smart for their own good. So I'm here to basically telling you some of the worst types of scams as far as a landlord would give you with. Mind you, there's many versions, but like I'm gonna give you two, maybe three versions of certain scams that you have to look out for. That way this upcoming Christmas isn't gonna be the worst one. So let me get into it. Few ones that I've heard of and I've seen, because I have a friend of mine that actually did have to go through this because an unscrupulous landlord tried to pull bullshit on her, and it was not okay, and they basically trumped over her rights. So the one I'm talking about is she had to deal with the landlord coming in and taking all her shit. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, on one aspect, it's understandable if they're trying to recoup certain costs. But when they go into your actual personal stuff like medications and your actually wardrobe, all those kind of things, now that's taking a step way too far. Hey guys, thank you very much, Vincent, and all you guys, thank you very much for checking out my videos. Please like and subscribe, and remember, be careful who you trust out there, guys, because don't get me wrong, not everybody is going to be out there to get you, but enough out there is going to get you. So be very weary. There are ways to know who's out there to fuck you over. And I'm trying to get you guys to that point where this Christmas is more for celebration than for mourning. Yeah, so see what I'm talking about? A lot of people do that crap, and I want to make sure you guys understand that some people out there that you can actually see certain patterns. There's always patterns when it comes to people, especially criminals. Criminals are always going to have these type of patterns, and if they have any kind of brains in their skull, they'd stop. But they're not. Hi, how's it going? Tams88, thank you very much for checking out my videos. Tim's whatever. My bad, it is Tim's. My bad. Oh, anyway, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel. But anyway, so I will be telling you guys this. So like I said, like I was explaining, that be weary on certain patterns when it comes to people. For instance, like I was saying, the biggest pattern when it comes to a scam is one that I heard from a story just a few minutes ago. One of the biggest ones was they said, hey, you did not pay this much rent. First of all, guys, whenever you pay rent, or whenever you pay whatever bill you have, especially when it comes to something like this important, like rent or any other kind of bill, keep the receipt, ladies and gentlemen. I know, too much paperwork. Keep the receipt within a year. I'll tell you that right now. Within a year, they can actually, it's more than enough evidence you have been paying this much for that long, because they cannot say, hey, you didn't pay me for this time. All you have to do is look it up. Mind you, if you're a disorderly type, which I am, but keep the receipt, guys, especially when it's time stamped. That way they can't say you did not pay. And I didn't mean to rhyme there, but it worked. Make sure that you guys do that, because it definitely helps your case in telling them, hey, I paid. You do not have any right to do anything against me. So either drop it, or I need compensation, because what the fuck? You have the right to tell them that. And in these beautiful United States, mind you, there are laws in certain states, but overall, the same law applies all over the United States. So as long as you have the money, as long as you have the receipt, and you have, again, that's basically your biggest proof that you did pay, and you did it on time, and you're not in arrears. Again, there's organizations that help you make sure said things happen. And for all of you guys out there that are struggling this doing okay, thank you, I appreciate the ask. There are organizations out there that actually help people, especially around this time of year. They are wonderful organizations that you can go to. Churches, you can go to, like, they'll probably even tell you, hey, there's a place here that will give you food. There's certain organizations that churches do. Mind you, the church thing is, I'm not a big religious guy, but the one thing I love about churches and their organizations, it's literally all about community. And that's the thing I actually have faith in when it comes to people, is community. When they help each other, it works better than magic itself. I'll tell you that right now. Those people help and make sure that people are taken care of as best as they can. Mind you, they can't help everyone, because some people just don't want to be helped, unfortunately. Some people are just that stubborn, or that ignorant. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be that type. If you need help, reach out, and they will do their best to help you. I cannot guarantee they will help you, but they will try their best. So that is one of the TED Talks I'm going to give you guys. And I honestly hope you guys have that thought process, because once I'm going to part of the TED Talk here is when I was a kid, me and my mom lost. Basically, my father left, and yes, folks, it's going to be one of those, stories where it wasn't a great story, but it was enough where me and my mom struggled. I'm going to be honest, guys. Me and my mom struggled, and we were not rich in any sense of the word, except for the love we had for each other, for of the mother, how loving her child, and the child, having the deepest respect for his mother. Mind you, I still have that deep respect, because she's done everything and anything that she can to make sure that I have food in my belly and clothes on my back. And that's a good mother. That's a great mother. That's a mother that should be revered as any kind of great mother. Honestly, people say, well, it's the bare minimum. Yeah, you would be surprised on what kind of people would consider the bare minimum. Bare minimum would be basically allowing me to survive. No, she went above and beyond to make sure that she did go without, but I didn't. And to this day, to now, I actually help her out whenever I can. I make sure that the house is full of food, the house is warm, has electricity, make sure the bills are paid. That way I can uh, give back to the woman that gave me everything. And if you guys are wondering why am I telling you this, well, that's not the reason why I'm telling you any of this is because I actually had uh, someone, because I was in Boy Scouts when I was a kid. Yeah, I know, right? You don't see the halo over my head. That's because you see the horns. Anyway, as I was saying, so I was in Boy Scouts, and apparently the Boy Scouts got in touch with some kind of community. I don't know who it was, but they got in touch, and they basically said, "Hey, I know you guys are struggling, so here's a big old box of food." Ladies and gentlemen, that food, it wasn't the best, but that doesn't mean it wasn't appreciated. It was like basically the bargain bin of food. But I'm gonna be honest, guys, I ate that shit up. Like, it was the best thing in the world because people actually had enough heart in their soul. They had soul to say, "Hey, somebody needed help. So here's some food." I mean, honestly, like I said, would I go out and get it myself? Probably not. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the idea of having food in the house. Because don't get me wrong, my mom couldn't work, and it took her forever and a half to finally get uh, a certain organization to help with, getting us food, right? And it took forever, but by the time we got to that point, we were actually starving to that point where we were going there. My mom made sure that she went hungry so I can eat, and that's the one thing I loved about her. Still love her. She's awesome. She's an amazing cook. She and my sister and my sister-in-law, they made great ham. I love the ham that they make. They try to make turkey a few times, but our oven doesn't want to cooperate. But other than that, it was great food. The amazing concept of family and togetherness, they stress it. But anyway, so like I said, if you guys are struggling out there, there are food banks that will help you out as much as they can. They'll give you a big old box of food, and believe me, folks, it goes. If you know how to ration, believe me, that shit lasts at least 2 weeks if you know how to ration. And I mean, at the bare minimum, it's gonna last you a week. Not long enough, more than long enough for you to finally find something that is more sustainable. Honestly, guys, it's so worth it. And the organizations that put that stuff together, whether it's in churches, the boys and girls clubs, things like that, your local food bank. I love those kind of places because they actually have community in heart, and it's the simplest, most purest form of humanity. And I actually have respect for those organizations. So should you, folks, because believe me, a lot of times, believe it or not, they are our proof that humanity isn't 100% lost. Anyway, before I go any, if you guys haven't already, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Check out below. Anyway, what was I gonna go? Oh, right. So another big scam. A lot of and yes, folks, I'm talking about scams now because that's what I was originally talking about. So the biggest scam, aside from saying that you didn't pay, was basically the biggest scam they're gonna do. Maybe not to you, but they are gonna be doing it to a lot of people. So be on the wear out. Is basically try to get you to sign a different lease that is before the due date of your previous lease. So basically what I'm saying is look at your lease before you sign it, because you don't know what you're going to get yourself into. That is the first one. That's like step one. don't sign the lease until you read it thoroughly, because it will get you into contract, and they will find you into hell itself just to get out of it. And even if you could get out of it, again, they will fine you. They will keep your deposit. They'll find many ways to get you. So be very, very careful. Second thing you got to do before you move into an apartment, especially with an unscrupulous landlord, you don't know who it is. Just do this for your own safety. Trust me. And if they give you shit for it, you're like, I have my right as a renter. I have the right to make sure that going into this and going out are the same thing. Otherwise, I don't have any trust with you, and this seems suspicious. So you go in there. Look at this concept. You go into an apartment. You look at it around. You're like, okay, cool. It looks cool. You pull out your phone, start taking pictures or video or whatever. A bit of a walkthrough, right? And if your landlord comes in going, hey, what the hell are you doing, man? See, that's a red flag right there. It's like the fact that they're asking you not to record, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to say, well, this is a two-party consent. And it's like, whoa. I'm not recording you. I'm recording the apartment. So technically, it's legal in any state. And if they have an issue with that, that's a red flag, folks. That's a red flag. Pardon me saying that ain't a red flag. That's a billboard, ladies and gentlemen. That billboard basically says, "Do not rent," because I am trying to pull a fast one. That is what that billboard is saying. So be careful out there, and if you guys are moving or whatever, just keep an eye on certain behaviors. Is what I'm trying to say. And these are only a few of the behaviors that I've noticed in certain landlords. Again, this is one they try to pull on me. Luckily, I was too fast for them. So they come up to me and say, hey, this is not enough. You need to pay more rent. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Our contract says this much. Where do you get the other amount from? It's like, well, it's because, it's like, no. Look up, and this is why you need to take a copy of your rent agreement. That way and they know how much you and he need to pay. Because I'm in a program where rent is specified at a certain amount, and they need to pay the rest of the amount. Yes, folks. So basically, we all pay certain amounts. They're trying to get me to pay the whole amount, thinking that I need to pay the whole amount. I don't. Again, I told you my program is I have to pay certain amounts. And you guys know what that is. Well, awesome. If you don't, I'm pretty sure every state has it. So if you guys have issues and want help with your rent, look up Section 8, and they actually might be able to give you a hand. Not guaranteed, because for some programs there's a long list. So good luck with that. But if you get on that list and get into the program, just be wary, okay? Again, contract before you sign it. That's the biggest thing. And if you do sign it, and when it benefits both of you, do yourself a favor and ask them for a copy. And make at least 2 copies for yourself. I'd say 3, but that's a little overkill. But yeah, make at least 2 copies. There's a reason for that is one you can have on hand, and the other one, it's more of a precaution. It's to defend yourself. Trust me, it's going to be one. Anyway, thank you for checking out my videos. Please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. This is your friend, wishing you well, luck, happiness as you exit.